Yeah, so I'll be going to Long Island for Thanksgiving. Douglas is bringing a mac and cheese to contribute to the food. I'll be bringing some wine. I'm thinking a red Zin. Now, I have always loved, it's not like a white Zinfandel. It's not the pink, gross, sweet wine. This is the Zinfandel grape. It's a red wine. It's going to be like medium plus body with jamminess. There's some fruit forwardness, but not sweet.
So you hate these people.
But not sweet. It's just you have that sort of fruit forward approachableness, which works really well with turkey. A sommelier on TikTok was like, Zins do work really well because turkey is really dry. And you you don't want like a big cab to go with the turkey. Those tannins are for something fattier, like a steak, right? Garrett knows. Like a nice fatty steak, so that every time you take a sip of a cab, the tannins, that's what gives you the cotton mouth dry feeling. It's like cleansing your palate for the next bite of steak. But with turkey that isn't fatty, you need something that's going to sort of complement and balance that out. And so a red Zin will do that for you.
I hate Thanksgiving. Honestly, I equate it to bachelor parties.
Because it's a huge eating fest, and you don't do a lot of huge eat fests.
No, I'm quite the opposite. If there's something in front of me, whether it be chemicals, booze, or food, I overdo it. And that's fine, and that's my own fault. The only time I don't like it is when I'm told to do it. Now, I'll give you an example. Bachelor parties. I fucking hate bachelor parties for a variety of reasons. But one being that you're forced to fucking pound. You're supposed to behave like Douglas at the end of the wedding.
Yeah.
The entire time. And I hate that. I've always been the most sober person at a bachelor party because I hate fucking pound, man. Shut. And Thanksgiving is almost the food equivalent of that. And I don't enjoy the football, mostly because the games usually suck. But I just sit there and I'm doing the sweats and you know your stomach just is distended and you're uncomfortable and the temperature is never right in the house, so you got too many layers on, so that's adding to the meat sweats, and it sucks. You're usually having I don't know.
That doesn't make sense, Bill, because you take smoke breaks outside, so that's how you cool off.
I don't like doing that in front of my parents.
Oh,
That's
see?
the 48-year-old. They know I smoke, but I don't like. My mom just gets pissy when I come back in smelling like smoke. So I don't get any cigarettes.
All right, that's a part of it. Well, and that's the other reason why you're sweating, because you're not taking your smoke breaks.
Withdrawal. I'm not getting drunk. I'm just food drunk.
You know what? I think something that we all need to be mindful of this Thanksgiving is like, just don't with the appetizers. Just don't. We're always starving, and it's like, why am I eating this carrot or this cucumber with a dip? I don't want it. It's not even that good. No one looks forward to it, and yet it's there, and so you do it. The crackers and the cheese. Don't do it. It's so dumb. Just save yourself for the big meal. You inevitably end up getting kind of full off of the snacks.
You're the only person that will take your own advice. You're the only person I know that has one slice of pizza or maybe 2 or 3 drinks and then I'm done. Not everyone is like you, Joe. And you know that. And you just like to hold it over everyone. I have control.
Some people run marathons to prove how mentally strong they are. I eat 1 Oreo. And then I stop.
I guess the Oreo thing is a little less painful. How about you guys? Any
Last year we switched over to appetizers only on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Although, but then you fucking just gorge on more of a buffet, basically.
You know, you get full on appetizers.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just eat a little more appetizers than you usually would, and then you're kind of full, and you're like, all right, see you guys later.
Sure.
I wish you told me
that.
that.
With that bullshit turkey or anything.
Yeah.
You just eat the good stuff.
No food prep, no getting things ready ahead of time. It's just like break out the cheese, and we'll cook some shrimp, and we'll do some like clams or something like that.
Yeah.
I wish you told me that a week ago. I would have suggested that to my family.
The only thing is, like, you feel kind of weird not eating Thanksgiving.
Tradition.
Like, you just, I know you're saying, but like,
Yeah.
it comes up in your mind where you're like, but now it's not really Thanksgiving. I don't know.
And I actually enjoy turkey, but it just don't like me. How about you, Steve? All calzones all the time?
You know it. That's basically what we're going to do.
Turkey calzone?
We have a turkey every year that's pretty much just for show.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it. It's dry. It's fucking crap. And even when we do it right, like fully buttered and like moist,
Basted.
nobody gives a shit. You have a little bit of the turkey, you pour a fucking gallon of gravy on it, and you mush it in your mashed potato. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
We do Italian Thanksgiving, so it's all meatballs and sausage and antipasto and whatever other, lasagna and shit that we want to have. It's a good time.
We'll have a little bit of that.
You got to make Thanksgiving your own. You can't just stick to the boring old stuffing and turkey. Nobody likes that.
You know how I would used to make
Cranberries in a
Thanksgiving
can.
my own? By not doing Thanksgiving. I laid down the law. At one point, I'm just like, you know what? I can't travel on Thanksgiving anymore. And now that my folks are no longer in Chicago and in New Jersey, it's all out the window. I was just like, I would just sit by myself, watch TV all day, maybe a little McDonald's. That would be my thing. And it was wonderful. That was the only time in my life I looked forward to Thanksgiving.
When I worked at Sirius, in the beginning, I had to work Thanksgiving, and then I started asking to work Thanksgiving just because you don't. But then after like 3 or 4 years, you kind of start feeling guilty about missing it too, Yeah.
I did do, yeah.
Like
Well,
it's fun the first few times, and then after a while, it's like, I guess I should go see my family.
I started feeling guilty, so I would do the week after Thanksgiving. Empty airports, cheap travel, and we just pretend it was Thanksgiving then. So that was fine. But did you get to watch the Macy's Day Parade while you were at Sirius? That's right down or is it on? It's on 6.
Yeah, there must be a window that would.
Yeah, you would be able to see it then. The whole time, you never even knew.
Yeah, I think I remember it like being blocked off and stuff, but
You know what, guys? A brief history of the Macy's Day Parade.
Ooh.
10 decades of Thanksgiving Day parades, people. 10 decades.
Wait, is this the 100th year?
No, it's the 10th decade. Doesn't mean it has to be the 100th year. Although we must be getting close because it starts off in the 1920s. Okay, no, next year will be the 100th.
Okay, so this is
1924.
99.
It first took off on November 24th, 1924, in front of a crowd of 10,000. I wish it was 10,000 this year. In 1927, Macy's changed its name to the Thanksgiving Day Parade. It was originally called the Christmas Parade, debuting balloons the same year. There's that iconic Snoopy. In the 1930s, parade onlookers hit the 1 million mark in the 1930s. And in 1933, the parade added sound effects to the balloons. Interesting. The dachshund barked, the pig oinked, and the baby cried. Andy the alligator, which, as we've learned, is great with turkey, even hissed like a real reptile. Mickey Mouse made his first appearance in 1934.
Oh.
The 1940s, the parade paused for the first time in 1942 for World War II. Macy's president Jack Strauss donated approximately 650 pounds of rubber balloon material for the war effort. 1950s, boy, they were so creepy back then. Look at even the Santa. That is scary stuff. Tim Burton
That's a Santa?
in the crowd jerking off at all these floats right here.
God.
They're all stuff in a movie of his. Popeye made his debut in 1957. That was a rain-soaked spectacle. The following year was tricky, with the nation's helium supply running low due to the Cold War and space race.
By the way, does that sign say Camel? Is that
It
for
does.
cigarettes?
Yes. Oh, those cigarette signs were huge and everywhere back then.
That was
I
a
love
billboard.
watching. Excuse me. If you watch Superman, for kids, the original, fucking marble signs everywhere. Let's see, where are we? Yes, there was so little helium that the balloons had to be displayed using cranes. I don't know if you could have a helium deficit. Where does one mine helium? I'm embarrassed I don't know about that.
Well, it's chemicals, right? So it's
If with chemicals, I don't know how you have a shortage.
helium is H2O plus something else, right?
Well done.
I don't know. I'm just saying
helium's
words.
He.
What is it?
Helium's He.
I guess I kind of remember that on my periodic table.
HE. So but how do you create HE?
I think
That-
they
it
get
is-
it out of the ground.
Is
There's
it in the
like
ground?
pockets of it in the ground, and eventually we're gonna run out, like completely.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
What? That is weird.
No, I think we'll find a way to
It's like
create
oil.
it. If we can clone Barbara Streisand's dogs, we can make more helium.
I say that about everything. That's crazy. Also, another thing that was crazy, them making us memorize the periodic table. Why? When
Okay.
have I ever, aside from right now, I've never needed any of that information in my entire life.
Where does helium come from? Helium is a non-renewable natural resource that is most commonly recovered from natural gas deposits.
Back of Steve's calzone truck.
Geologic conditions in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas make
Crazy. I did not know
natural
this.
gas in these areas some of the most helium-rich in the world, with concentrations between 0.3% and 2.7%. Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Well, that makes me believe, though, that there's got to be more in other areas that we just haven't discovered.
I agree. So if Oklahoma City ever gets a football team, it should be helium related as far as the name is concerned. But the helium in and of itself is not a cool name. Helios?
No, how about like the He-Men?
The hymens.
Okay, natural gas. There's a reservoir and there's some salt.
And then there's a basement.
I'm sorry, this is the worst diagram.
I don't believe any of this. I think we've just been punked.
There's a basement? This tells us nothing.
Oh my God, crazy. Well, I want you guys use all these fun facts tomorrow when you're watching the stupid same every year
I do
Macy's
like
Day
it,
Parade.
though. I find it fun.
I figured you would. You know what? Because you like balloons are your favorite kind of thing because they kind of look like a living thing, but they're just full of air. You don't really have to talk with them, hug them, touch them. I can see why you like it. They're weird-looking inanimate objects. It's the only thing you feel comfortable in front of.
Sure. But really,
I was just saying words.
But really, and we've shown these videos before, when balloons go wrong.
Oh, yes. That's the best. I'm not against that. Sad face, in the 1960s, particularly 1963, JFK was assassinated just days before the parade. But it went on, and while the nation mourned, in 1968, Macy's presented Snoopy for the first time as a flying ace, and he has since become the longest-running balloon in the parade. There we go.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like that anymore.
So then he's not the longest-running balloon. Define your terms, CNN. And that's not a very good Donald either. Let's see, the 1980s, it was the first time that the parade was hit by a snowstorm. I can't believe that was the first time, in 1989, stranding some balloon handlers and necessitating some cheerleaders to pinch in and hit balloon duty. 1990s, well...
Betty Boop. Love that bitch.
You know you like your Betty. America's Bad Boy Bart Simpson debuted in 1990. In 1997, the parade experienced extreme winds, getting up to 40 miles per hour. One balloon struck a lamppost and, I remember this, and knocked it into the ground, hitting a woman who suffered a fractured skull.
Yes.
If memory serves, something similar happened to her like a couple years after that.
Yeah, Corey Lytle crashed his plane into her apartment.
That was, oh my God. Are you, oh. That was the, oh wow. That is insane.
like Final Destination shit.
No shit. She was supposed to
Wait,
die
did
in
she-
Thanksgiving.
Did she die with that plane crash?
No.
Now, Corey sure as shit did. Corey didn't live through that one. Remember, we all thought it was initially a terrorist thing? Rightfully so. No, it was just another. After the Yankee captain. I'm having a brain fart. The catcher, after his plane crash.
Carlton Fisk.
I wish when he went to the Hall of Fame as a fucking Red Sox.
Thurman Munson.
Thank you, Thurman Munson. After that, hey Yankees, don't get your pilot's license. Maybe don't do that.
Why don't we hear the name Thurman anymore?
Because I'll tell you exactly why. Bad Santa. Thurman Merman. People look at that. They're like, I don't know if I want my kid to be like Thurman Merman. Although one of the best holiday movies ever. All right. Sorry. Long story short, Charlie Brown kicked his football in 2002. Seems a little late in the game for that one. And finally, in 2020, the parade was a TV-only event as the COVID-19 pandemic kept crowds home because of safety concerns. In recent years, this is terrible, 3.5 million people have lined the streets to watch That is awful. Don't. By the way, and this is like, I'm not making a joke of this. I'm not doing anything sarcastic, but I was listening to the news today, like the 80-year-old that I am. The terrorist warnings are at a peak in New York right now because of all things Palestine. Don't come to New York to watch the fucking parade. Just watch it on TV. The more people here, the more they're going to be driven to just do something terrible. I'm not even kidding. Don't come to fucking New York.
Or one could
Leave New
argue
York.
it's the safest time because we are on high alert. So there is more presence. There are more eyes.
But one cancels itself out when there's fucking 4 million people or so on the
There's
street.
more people. It's one of those things where you convince yourself it's fun,
Yes.
but it's not. Because if you don't convince yourself it's fun, you just realize you were cold, you had to go to the bathroom, and you wasted a few hours of your life when you could have been warm and toasty at home watching on TV. So people go, they'll say it's tradition,
Yes.
but unless you are physically walking it, I have a friend, Amy, who I met, was friends with her in childhood. Every year, she does the parade. She is either holding onto a balloon or a
that would be-
part
I
of
would enjoy
some
that.
float or
Yeah.
whatever. And so that is different. You're working the parade, so you're. I think she's a volunteer. If you're getting paid, even better. But like to physically be a part of it, that is cool. That's a
yeah.
great story. You meet people, but otherwise you're just sitting and you're freezing like on a bleacher. I don't know. It doesn't seem fun. Do you watch the parade every year?
No. I'm sure I've seen it. I remember running one time because I couldn't sleep, so it was like 3:30, 4 in the morning, and I saw them setting up the balloons, and that was kind of
Oh, yeah.
But here's the non-interesting part. People are already getting there and sitting down and everything. And I'm like, to your point, why? And
Yeah.
I'm mazel to your bladder.
Yeah. I do like to watch the parade every year. I don't know. I just think it's fun and it's a good kickoff to the holiday season.
Cute.
But the older I get, the more people I know in it. Because like the more my friends are like now in Broadway shows.
Oh, I see.
And
You
so
don't like that.
so they do the performances. I mean, it's kind of cool to see them like on TV and performing. So at least I can say I'm watching for that to like see my friends
Sure.
perform.
Yes.
But it is always incredible. Some of the old A-list, now D-list stars, they get to perform whatever karaoke lip sync track.
Yeah, all lip sync all the time.
And you're like, this is a strange, it'll be, I think one year they had Aaron Carter, may he rest, sing like the Little Drummer Boy. Or no, maybe it was Justin Bieber. I don't know, but it was just so weird, and it was like a real like R&B kind of vibe to the Little Drummer Boy, and you're like, why are we doing this?
I feel like there must have been at least 4 years straight back in the day where David Hasselhoff was singing one thing or another
Sure.
in that goddamn parade while Al Roker's in layers. You can see his breath. He's got a little fedora on. These are my lasting memories.
You remember-
That's why, Garrett, I asked you about Sirius because Joanne and I used to work next door to that building, and there would always be offers for Fox News for people if they wanted to come in and get into one of the windows and watch it from there. That would be agreeable to me because you got a bathroom,
Yes.
you got your heat,
Yes.
I'm sure you got your booze.
It was like when I would cover New Year's Eve in Times Square
Ugh, the
when I
worst.
worked at Fox because I could use bathrooms whenever I wanted. I could duck inside to get warm. I had my own security. Like, that was great. My favorite hostess gift to bring if you're going to someone's house for Thanksgiving, Tupperware. Ziploc Tupperware. That way you can bring home some leftovers. Pew, pew, pew. You're welcome.
Wow, we should have done Joanne Ma instead of the More You Joe for that one.
Do it.